But then even since November, okay, things have moved on a little bit more. In November, I'm watching the time a bit, please tell me to hurry up if you need to, but in November, somebody, my wife rather, came out of a spinning lesson. Does everybody know what spinning is? Yeah, brilliant. Okay, there you go, fantastic, you're my friend. She came out of a spinning lesson and she said, Phil, you're a bit of a fair weather cyclist, really, fair weather triathlete. A lot of triathletes do spinning over the winter because it keeps you cycling and stuff, doesn't it? So I said, I'll do that. That sounds quite good. But then within an hour, I've never sat on one of these bikes, mine. And then within an hour, I'm enrolled on a course in Exeter that weekend to become a spinning instructor. So I turn up at this course, and there's a group like this, I suppose, and we'll have to introduce ourselves. And there's one woman who says, I'm an ultra runner, I don't even start running until it's a 60-mile run. And there's another guy who says he's an Ironman triathlete. And, you know, get round to little old me, you know, and I'm probably twice the age of half these guys, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness. Anyway, I did it, and it was a pass-fail thing, and I passed it. So I got, and we had about 5 hours, I think, on the bike and all over the course of the weekend. And there was a fitness test and things, because they said you can't do it if you're not fit enough. So there was some heart rate monitoring, and we had races as to how quickly you could get our heart rate down from 85% maximum heart rate down to 60%. And I think I came third of a group of 10 of us, you know. It's like, God, wow, I didn't expect that. I thought I'd be the one who everybody was waiting for. So it was quite surprising, and I sort of thought it was filled me with confidence. So then I took on a bit of spinning, and I've got a couple of spinning classes that I do now for people. And then, and even then, that isn't the end as well, because then somebody said to me, Phil, you're into this health and fitness, aren't you, this stuff? And I said, yeah, I love it. She goes, well, I got a wellness centre. Would you do a couple of boot camps sort of stuff for me, and run a boot camp sessions on Saturday mornings? Well, I don't know. I said, I don't even know what that means, really. I don't know what I need to do. So she said, well, get on the phone to your insurer for your spinning and find out what you need to do for your insurance to cover you. And they said, oh, you need to do a recognised exercise professional level 2 exam. So I said, oh, well, that's that out, isn't it? Anyway, and the girl who'd asked me then dropped me an email to say, here's a course you could do from home. It's like if you lie about it and tell them you've worked in a gym for a couple of years, you can get on a fast-track course. So there we go, I did that, and last Friday I set that exam, and touch wood, I should have passed it, to be honest with you, I hope I have. Yeah, so there I am, you know, and now I'm about to become a fitness professional, a fitness instructor, from having gone from, you know, the cancer and those moments, through those moments, all the way to not being able to walk again. And now here I am, you know, and these people have no idea that I've overcome, and I wouldn't want them to either, you know, for what we were talking about earlier. This isn't something I want to be able to say to these guys, you know, push harder, because you should think, well, I've been through that, ain't the point at all. The point is, I'm doing something I really enjoy doing, and actually, despite maybe nature trying to intervene, I'm still doing it, and I still love doing it. And funnily enough, the hip thing, something that I feel, I'm pushing it quite hard. I do know I'm pushing a false hip or an artificial hip quite hard, and I was told it would last for 20 years. I'd rather it lasted for 15 and have a really good 15 years out of it than 20 and know I've spent 20 years sitting down watching the TV, to be honest. Now, I promised you I'd come around to sort of 5 slightly less than usual tips, so I'll rattle through them a little bit. Everybody's going to, you know, everybody knows the tip where you say, you get up in the morning, look in the mirror and tell yourself it's going to be a great day, and all of those, we all know that, okay? And whether you go with those or not, it's neither here nor there. But there's sort of less usual ones, I suppose, to try and add something to that kind of list. The first one is, we all know what SMART goals are? In my work life, I know what those are. We're kind of all familiar with what a SMART goal is. Well, I think a SMART goal kind of misses the point, actually, in fairness. And you know, like for instance, if I said like, you know, I want to drink this water, and I want to drink it in the next 30 seconds. Okay, that's a perfectly smart goal. Okay, so it's specific. Okay, it's pretty measurable, because I'm going to know whether I've drunk the water or not. It's achievable. It's relevant, and there's a time scale involved. Okay, so all of those things are met. Now we're all led to believe in this world that a smart goal is one that's going to be achieved, but actually, I haven't drunk it, have I? So it hasn't been met at all. What I think SMART completely ignores is the why. Okay, the why is I'm thirsty and I need to quench my thirst. Okay, so the first point there I always think about when I'm setting a goal isn't so much to try and make it smart, it's to think about the why. Because it's the why that's going to get me out of bed in the morning, and it's the reason for doing something that's going to drive me to achieve a goal, not the fact that I've set the goal well in the first place. Okay, so that's sort of my first one. The second one is a bit of an unusual one, I suppose. It's kind of allow yourself to feel grumpy about things a bit. You know, again, we're always told we've got to keep positive about things, and we've got to have a positive outlook to everything, and that can be really grinding, can't it? If you're encountering something which it just isn't a positive situation, you know. So sometimes just allow yourself to get grumpy about it, but give yourself a time scale that you're going to allow yourself to feel down about something. Say, okay, that's been a really, excuse my language, crap result there. I'm going to allow myself a morning to say, let my brain focus on that and let my mind work on it. Because actually, I think that in that period of time, I think that's when your mind comes up with some solutions to that. And if you sweep it under the carpet, your mind's never going to work out why it was grumpy in the first place, and you're never going to overcome it, and you're going to find that same problem again. The next one I always sort of try to think about is considering alternatives. The triathlon experience for me was a really good example of this. I woke up the next morning, and what I didn't really say to you before, because it fits in more here, was I woke up that morning not still thinking about, shall I do it, shan't I do it? I woke up that morning thinking, how am I going to feel in 2 Sundays' time if I don't do it? And come midday, hell or high water, I was going to finish that thing. Whereas if I hadn't done it, I'd have been sort of thinking, oh, yeah, maybe I should have done it, really. And I try to consider the alternatives to not doing something. Okay, and I try to think, well, if I don't do it, how am I going to feel? Well, I'm going to feel pretty empty if I don't do that. Now I've been set the challenge, I'd much rather do it than not. Okay, so that's the third one. The fourth one is really important to me, to be honest, and I guess I owe an awful lot of what I've done to my wife Lisa, because she was there for me to open up to. As I said, I was always very introvert, I was always very insular about my past, and when Lisa, and my wife now, came on the scene, she kind of allowed me to talk to her about some of the things I'd been through, but not in a patronising way. Not in a way of saying, oh, woe is you. It was in a very, very positive way. So the fourth one, I suppose, is to, for people for whom it's relevant, is to get somebody that you can open up to, and who's not going to patronise you, who's not going to judge you. You know, sometimes other members of the family would, some of mine did, you know. It doesn't necessarily mean it has to be somebody in your family, but just have somebody there who you can open up to, and Lisa for me was that person really, you know, she's been the person to drive me to do anything else, to be honest. And the last one, we've come across it, to be fair, is happiness doesn't necessarily come from where you think it's going to come from. I would never have in a million years, 5 years ago, dreamt of myself doing a triathlon, becoming a fitness instructor, riding a spinning bike, or even standing up and talking about some of the stuff I have now. And that's that. Thank you very much. Has anybody got any questions? I appreciate I went on there.
I think we'll leave the questions that I want to give Cora a chance to really pick up that, because I think what we've heard with Adams, people with great energy, and for someone who's harnessing that, spreading that enthusiasm to others who really